Hello and happy Wednesday, everybody. Mikkel coming in with what I've been talking about, the big surprise, the big gift, Wealth Wednesday. Now, when I say Wealth Wednesday, I don't mean wealth as in wealthy. I mean health is wealth. The point of the Wealth Wednesday is to give back to my audience positivity and a new side of me that you're seeing, not really new to me, but new to you. I'm also looking to expand content with a different type of audience to connect with. So if you're new here, welcome and thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, I'm not going to completely get away from the car content. I have had heavy feelings about this. I've called some of my friends on, hey man, I'm going through some things. I don't want to feel like I'm too preachy to other people with the Wealth Wednesday going on and how to better yourself or one up yourself. But also with that, they agreed, they felt it was wholesome, etc. And, told me, a good friend of mine, he was like, hey, if you're going through something, that's the perfect time to be a testament about that. Make a story about that. Not make a story, but tell a story about what you've been going through to then help somebody later in what they're going through as a testament, which I'm like, you got a point. So don't think I'm getting too preachy, because some of these messages I'll be speaking, I will be probably watching and listening myself to. Hopefully you can just set this aside. Maybe I'll get it on a podcast or something, but this podcast style is generally for you to kind of just set it down, not watch, and just listen as you're either going to work or doing your work if you're allowed to. So I will be listening to these too, because some of these self-improvements will be a reminder for myself or just advice to myself as well. So don't take it as I'm talking down to you, because there's a lot of misconceptions with context and how I type. Onto the gist of what Wealth Wednesday is. For those of you that have been around digitally with me on Instagram and Facebook, I'm sure you're familiar with the jovial roast with cars and compelling questions or thought-provoking questions I post on my Facebook and IG. To my audience in the car scene, most people take the jokes out of hand. Hey, Mikkel, you're a hater. Why do you hate these cars? It's not because I hate these cars. It's just easy balanced roast for me, just to make fun of something as a joke. I don't hate cars. I love all cars. And yes, I will admit I'm at fault. I do understand to myself that I sometimes joke around like a fifth grader, how we make fun of that girl we liked. It's kind of like that with cars. You just make fun of it because you like cars, and it's like an easy, obvious target. Like if little Susie has red hair and freckles, what are you going to go after? The red hair and freckles first. You know what I mean? So it was hard to connect with people out of pure curiosity. Sometimes I would ask questions and people would take them out of hand. It was and still is rough to communicate and connect. So that's why I'm here on the YouTube, to connect with a newer audience, with genuine people on IG. Fast forward to 2018 to now 2021, where we're at. My life in Japan has expanded my view on many things, from daily life to seeing the car scene to just being appreciative as being an American in general. The car scene there was great as well. The experience from online people I've met in Japan has been a lot more pleasing than people I've met in America, than some people I've met in America, just to put it that way. Japanese people understand that when you put in work on a car, it costs money and time, and there's no real, from what I see, bad talking unless you've done something really bad, like parked in a handicapped spot. Then they'll get on you, you know what I mean, when you're not handicapped. Another thing that opened my mind was how other foreigners spoke to me. When you have somebody from New Zealand ask you, hey, what's up with America and guns? Why are you guys having a school shooting every day? And, normally with another American, we could just joke like, hey man, some Tyler with mental issues just went crazy. But honestly, how do you describe that to somebody that's not American, you can't joke about it with, in a non-biased way? You know what I mean? It's really rough, and it's really an eye-opener as well. So it was total 180, feel going from here to there. A lot of the lessons I learned weren't from Japanese people, but mainly from other foreigners that happen to speak English as well, because not only do they speak English, they probably speak their native tongue from where they're from, and they speak Japanese, which is 3 languages. Whereas here in America, again, spoiled brats that we are, 1 language. Somebody speaks Spanish, speak English, which I'm kind of on the mix with now, because I do get some Spanish speakers, but I understand. But at the same time, you got a whole family here and an Escalade, and you're buying a 3rd vehicle. What's the deal? Let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay. So let's just say being too connected can be a bad thing because, like I said, I see a lot what's going on with the car scene and all that good stuff. And, it's not really cool seeing people complain all that stuff. And frankly, I'm just over it and I'm not about it anymore. So upon my return, a buddy of mine and we were driving by the local car wash and there was a group of Mopar cars. And I'm like, screw it, I'll hand out business cards because they're going to need service, etc. I meet the guys. So I got my camera out, I started filming, and I was literally going to revert back to 2016 Mikkel of just roasting their cars because we had like the claw mark stickers over the eyes, like the monster claw marks. We had RGB headlights, taillights. We had vinyl stickers all jacked up, fake rep wheels, whatever you want to call it. And then I started to ask one dude about his Jeep, and it was a Sport S, and he had some modifications on it and all that good stuff. And he was just so happy that I was struck, man. Struck by the fact that, these guys were so moved and excited to have somebody ask them an interview about the car that wasn't from their little car group, clique, whatever you want to call it. And it really moved me. And since then, 2020 was around the corner. Yeah, I came back, 2020, somewhere around there, 2019. Yeah, it was like winter 2019 or early 2020. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that negative stuff anymore, which is why you see on my IG and all that good stuff of just doing more self-understanding than I have before, having revelations and moving forward. And I saw the fun part of the car scene again from these guys, the joy, the happiness of just doing something, putting in your work. Now, which this brings me here with the side of me that appreciates life and just being honest with people, no matter what it is, even if they get hurt in a sense. You let them know, you spill it. They're not cool with you or your friend after that, then they weren't meant to be around in your life at that point if they're that easy to just drop off. Like literally the other day, I went to my sales managers and told them, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, I'm really glad you guys are here. You're healthy and your family's doing great. Other than one manager, his dog doing bad. I just appreciate life that much, man, because you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. So let's go on about that. And we all know 2020 was a really, really rough year for everybody. Great for business, don't get me wrong. But we've all been through a lot and had to adapt and overcome. These companies have taught us time after time that they don't care about us, how they can dispose of us, lay us off, whatever. I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this, you might have been laid off, etc. And it's just like, at what point do we adapt from that and move forward? Along with that, some of us has lost loved ones to COVID, old age, disease, etc. So I'm here to go in that territory most car guys won't go to, and just let you know, it's okay. We're gonna make it through this. And I know all of us have a different coping mechanism to go with, and it's okay to do so. Put your car on the back burner to deal with it. Example, Kanye West, when he lost his mom, you can tell in 808 Heartbreaks with how much auto-tune he used. His heart was broken. He understood, he was upset, and I don't think he's still recovered to this day. He's dealing with that, And I want to, with this channel as well, I want the community to grow into a tribe. What do I mean by a tribe? Tribes usually have like rituals or whatever they do. For example, the African women in Shebe, they use the mud powder and Shebe, I think it is powder. They all take care of each other. They massage each other's scalp. They put the mud as a deep conditioner for a few hours on their hair. Everybody gets equal treatment, and their hair flourishes. These women have really long hair for African women. Indian women do the same thing, I believe, where they push and massage on pressure points. And I want this new following, whether on YouTube or IG, you follow me, to, be in the comment sections. Don't be afraid to make friends and talk with somebody in the comment sections, because if I can't get to you, somebody with the same mindset or even same interests as you can make a new friend. And who knows where that will lead down time, because time has a very funny way of telling stories. I will tell you that 10 years later down the line, you can figure out something that was, reason why something happened 10 years ago. So let's go down that path with this. So the title is Knowing Thyself. Knowing yourself is like having the pieces to the puzzle. Understanding yourself is like having the puzzle put together. Example, if you know you don't like blueberries, do you understand why you don't like blueberries or understand why your body rejects blueberries? If you don't, it's your responsibility, especially if you're over the age of 18, to get checked out and see why your body is rejecting these blueberries or why you don't like them. From there, you could either combat or find a remedy to manage the issue that ails you. I highly believe if you know yourself, you are less likely to be upset at something out of your control. I think it was the 80-20 rule. 80% of things are out of your control and you shouldn't be upset about. 20% of the things you should. It's like if you plan a picnic and the weather just goes bad all of a sudden when the weather said it was good, that's out of your control. Why are you upset about it? Now, if you're cooking the food and you decide to take a nap and not set an alarm, that's out of your control right there. You know what I mean? You should have set your alarm. You were in control of that to where your alarm should have waken you up maybe 5 minutes earlier before the timer was set for the food to come out the oven. That's in your control. You know what I mean? So don't let the things out of your control upset you. Example given. Most car guys, when they're on a page, they see a car they don't like, they'll go ahead and slander it real quick and say what they would have done. But here's the beauty of that. It's out of your control. It's not your car. It's not your money. Why waste that energy going off on somebody with your style? Yes, I know it's an opinion. And as some of you guys say in defense, oh, it's just an opinion, it's the internet. So if it's just an opinion, the internet, why do you backpedal and put your tail up between your legs when somebody claps back with the same energy in a response? Is that person then the bad guy for standing up for themselves? Or is that for you going to their turf and trying to break into their house and you got shot in the foot with, let's say, you know what I mean, whatever it is as an example. So there's a lot of this stuff that's Psych 101 that boils down with these guys. For example, let's bring down a 3-generation problem. You got you got grandfather, father, and son. Say, for example, grandfather was living a good life. He loved cars. He loved art museums and curating his own little artwork. He has a special place for it in the house, along with the garage he's in between. Now, he had a son, which is the father. Now, let's say the father paid more attention to curating his little art museum and being in the garage taking care of his cars and neglecting his son, which is the father. Now, once the father has a son, the son then looks up to the grandfather. In his meticulous ways, he curated the art or took care of his cars. So now, not only did the father have a bad time with grandpa being neglected, now he sees his son going through the same thing. So he sees, let's say he treats his son unfairly and upset. He sees a lot of grandfather in him, which he resents, which means now the son is going to have a bad upbringing, which he could then blame whatever on. It's a cycle, a bad cycle, to where now the son will be in the garage or the museum just to get away from the dad. Psychology 101 and how things trickle down within family, or either bad upbringings, all that good stuff. Which is why, with understanding yourself, I am a very firm and avid believer of seeking a counselor or therapist. If you are over the age of 18 and you haven't seen a therapist or a counselor yet, what are you waiting for? That's your responsibility to understand why you're jacked up, because we all are. All of us are, in some sense, from our parents had no clue what they were doing. You know what I mean? You could have had somebody bully you to in a sphere of influence that wasn't from the home that's got you jacked up today. Because let's face it, humans can be utter trash or wired wrong from their upbringing. Get those certain circumstances, and I'm pretty sure we're all just like, I'll do whatever I want. So again, make it your responsibility to dive deeper into your mental and understand what's going on. Next, let's go on about mastering your emotions. You don't always have to be a staunch man. You don't have to sit there straight-faced all the time, I believe. But I do believe you don't bring that negative energy home if you have a family or a responsibility. You got to remember, you're their rock, their provider, their protector, the pillar for that home that holds everything up. That is your job. You don't want to come in shouting, today was a bad day. You know what I mean? Get a paper bag if you have to. I know, men, this is kind of our thing. Get a paper bag, sit in your car for like an extra 5 minutes before you get out. If you have to yell everything negative out into that car after a bad day at work or whatever, do it. Once that gets out, go to your wife, your significant other, and talk to her. Bring it up. Get it out. Because if you don't get it out, it's going to eat you alive. If you don't have a wife or a significant other, find a brother, a really good friend, a best friend, if anything, you can confide in, or that one friend you go to for advice to talk about it with. Because again, you let it boil in, it's not going to be good at all. So again, get that out. Now, the next thing I believe you can do to further understand yourself is to take some time out of your morning or even get up earlier and meditate. Meditating is amazing. Another thing you could do in meditating is focus on your breathing. You would be surprised how much more energy and how much better your day starts and how you start to wake up once you meditate and once you concentrate on your breathing. What I mean by breathing is box breathe. I used to do that when I had a 5 a.m. shift in Japan. I would wake up 20 minutes earlier than I normally did. I would go in the hallway out of the room from where my wife was, sit down, meditate, and box breathe. And from there, I would take my shower and get ready to go work. And daily, it got easier to wake up, making that my routine. No phone, no nothing. The beauty of meditating is once you got the breathing down pat, or you don't want to focus on your breathing that in depth that morning, is because it is the hardest thing for a human to think about nothing. Once you're breathing, you set your timer on your phone and you're just meditating, either just Om or whatever you do. Thinking of nothing can just clear your head out. We're all pretty much programmed to function and multitask daily. Do this, do that. We've got calendars, we've got alarms on our phones telling us what to do and all that good stuff. Being unplugged, taking that time for yourself to get your mind just blank is huge. Your emotions, your feelings, everything you're connected to will just feel so much on a different level. It's so awesome. And then from there, once you're done meditating, I would highly recommend looking at yourself in the mirror. Reason why I say that is most people can't even look at themselves, or they have a complex to where when people treat them the same way they treat them, they can't take it at all, which is a sure sign you need to have a conversation with self. Don't be afraid to have a short interview with yourself in the mirror. Ask them, who are you? All that good stuff. Because if I were to ask you, other than your government name and trivial facts about you, like your favorite color, where you were born, when's your birthday, what do you really know about yourself? And then on top of that, dig a little deeper. What do you understand about yourself? I honestly believe small steps like these will lead to a healthier and confident lifestyle. As meditation and breathing become normal habits, read more. The beauty of reading a book is the rereads after you finish it. It's not that you missed anything. It's the fact that once you read something, your understanding has expanded on another level. And now you will further understand what you read, and maybe, I'm not going to say discover something new, but you will understand it in a different way, I guess you could say. And that's the beauty of books, is you're continually expanding your understanding, what you know, your vibe, and all that good stuff. Lastly, I want to say take care of yourself in new ways, or in more ways than you have before. I know most of us guys, at best, you've got a face routine. Get off that, start reading ingredients to like your shampoo. You know what I mean? Go more natural. Maybe keep that one shampoo once a week or once a month to clarify any buildup you may have, all that good stuff. I'm personally going to be going on another hair journey. Feel free to join me if you want. The beauty of a hair journey is you'll understand how to take care of your hair and your scalp as it grows, your beard, whatever. If you've never grown a beard, try it. If you have a full beard and you're tired of it, get rid of it. Do something different if you have to. You know what I mean? In a sense, like growing your hair out is like a lion coming to maturity with its mane. You know what I mean? Find out what your hair porosity is. What oils does it like? Does coconut oil help your hair grow more? Does grapeseed oil help keep it moisturized? All that good stuff. You learn different things about yourself at different lengths, kind of how we do in different parts of life, because, when you were 5 versus, let's say, when you're 25, a lot has changed. And just keep going from there. I would say, as a pro tip too, take care of your feet, men. You know what I mean? It's very important to do that. Another thing in the morning, I think it's like right before I shower, after I'm done meditating, what I'll do is I've got this little wall massager, or you can get one of those little pressure points from Walgreens. Massage your feet and get that blood flowing. Your feet is kind of like your negative battery cable onto your car. I would say once a week or once a month, take off your shoes, take off your socks, go somewhere in nature and just walk around, as long as it's safe too, nothing sharp, barefooted. It's what's called grounding. Because let me ask you, other than going to the beach, when is the last time your bare feet has touched on soil? Just to get back with nature, in a sense, to connect. Huge difference. You'll feel great. Trust me on this one. And that's pretty much it, guys. Comment below what you think. Hopefully I'll get better at these. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it a weekly or bi-weekly thing, as, I'm probably recording the night before. And I have every other Tuesday off, but I work every Wednesday. So let me know what you thought of this session, what this playlist is going to be. And if there's anything you would like me to cover, post below. I'll give my thoughts about it, maybe converse about it with you, and, maybe collab. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed just listening to this, and you have a wonderful night.